The intent of this video is to walk through the new job assignments functionality in the AwanaTracker. This functionality is to help you plan for your night, to see which volunteers are planning to be absent, which ones are planning to be there, and allow you to move people around so that you can get an idea of where your gaps might be. This does not control any assignments to groups or any other functionality. It just purely is for planning purposes. So the first thing is that you will need to be a super user to access this. And if you are, log in with your user ID and password. Once you're in here, there is a new button underneath Administrative called Job Assignments. If you click on the Job Assignments page, this will take you into this functionality. Now, this is all of the various roles that have been identified in the old tracker spreadsheet. And the names that were put in there were the ones that were there by, that were there when the page was created. So you may need to do some updating to make it accurate for yourself. I have tried to make the handbook up to date, and I have tried to make the games up to date. So hopefully those two are pretty close to ready to go. The first thing you'll see is that there's going to be 3 different colors involved. The first color is a gray, like Kirby's here. This indicates that the volunteer is planning to be there, but has not checked in yet. And this page is forward-looking, so this is actually looking at next week's event. It will change over on Wednesday morning. So the Wednesday after Awana finishes, it will change and start looking at the next week. So there shouldn't be anybody checked in yet. So we shouldn't see anyone with that color, but if there was, that color would be white. So just be a white button, and that indicates that they are indeed checked in. The other color that we see is red. This indicates that that person has said that they're planning to be out for the next week. So those are the ones that are most important to you, and this is also why we need to make sure that we have our volunteers leveraging their planned absences functionality, so that they go in and they tell you when they are and aren't going to be in. That being said, if we knew that somebody either was or wasn't going to be there and their status showed differently, you do have access to go ahead and change that. So we'll just focus on the AAA team here just for demonstration purposes. So let's say that Julie called me and said, okay, I'm not going to be able to make it this week, but she wasn't updated that way. I can easily go in here and just click on her name and click Change Status, and this will take me to her availability page. So I can just mark her as being out for February 16th and click back. And now we see that Julie is red. And I know that I either need to replace her, or at least she's going to be gone for the night. So the next thing that I can do is start to replace people. So let's say I do need someone to replace Reed, and I have a sub in mind that's planning to be there. I can click on Reed's name, and I can find their name out of this Replace With box. You'll see absolutely every person in here, and there's nothing stopping you from putting a person in multiple spots. So a person could fill multiple roles during a night. So let's say that we were going to have, we'll just pick someone. Let's say we were going to have Jerry DeLong fill in. You see that there's nothing after his name. If you scroll down to the bottom of this list, you'll see that there are some that say absent afterwards. These are the ones that are not planning to be there tonight, so you wouldn't want to put one of them in that spot. But let's go back and let's pick Jerry. So now we have change the information. We're going to put Jerry DeLong in for Reed Johnson. I have a couple options for how to replace him. I can either replace with the selected person. I can reset this back to the regular person, which I'll show you in just a second. And I can replace permanently. So if Jerry was going to permanently take Reed's position, I'd click that button. But in this case, he's just going to temporarily take it for the night. So I'm going to click Replace with Selected. And we now see Jerry's name in there, and it's no longer red because Jerry is going to be there. The next one let's take a look at is Tammy, and we'll replace her permanently with someone. So if we come into here and we say, okay, let's put in Jennifer in place of Tammy permanently, I can just click replace permanently, and she's now replaced. Okay. Now, if you were doing this and you realize, oh wait, no, actually the Reed is going to be here, I could click back on Jerry and I could either manually put it back to Reed, or if I didn't know who was originally there, I could just say reset to regular. And resetting to regular will return it back to Reed, and again showing that he's out. Now remember that when I did Jennifer, I replaced her permanently. So if I click on her name and I click reset to regular, it's going to stay at Jennifer. So the only way for me to get that back to Tammy would be to manually change her. Now let's say that we wanted this spot just to be open for the night. Maybe Julie is going to be here. So let's say she is going to be here. I'm going to change her status back. Okay, but we're going to put her somewhere else. We're not going to be able to use her in this capacity tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on her and we're going to say remove, and that will just remove her from that slot. Now that slot's blank. Now obviously if I needed her back, I can just click reset to regular and she's back in that spot. As far as the different sections on here, there is a variety of sections. Different groups will manage different sections. Live team, the games is broken down into the leadership, 3rd and 4th grade, 5th and 6th, and the various roles that they have within that. Handbook time, or handbook, is broken down to the leadership again, and then the various groups. Just a reminder that these groups do not control the actual coach card assignments yet. Down the road, we'll be looking into doing that, but at this point, this is just purely for planning purposes. So if I was to come here and I was to replace Amy Kristovich with, with somebody else, let's just pick on Jennifer again. If I was to replace her with Jennifer, that does not mean that Jennifer is going to take her card now. She's just in there for planning purposes. And that is all that there is functionality-wise on this page.